Hey everybody, welcome back to the VYPE Watch Along. We're back. 6A Division I Football State Championship between Austin Westlake and Southlake Carroll. Scotty T is here. I'm David Francis. We got VYPEU Ambassador Will Turboff here. He's going to join us for the game. Super excited to watch this one. Hopefully we get a great game. We're going to be back for the kickoff here in a few moments. But until then, stay tuned for the game.
And we're back. Welcome to the VYPE Watch Along UIL 6A Division 1, the granddaddy of them all. This is the biggest game, not only of all of Texas high school football, but maybe the country to be determined. But this is the biggest schools, the biggest stage.
Yep.
Jerry World, one of the most recognizable football brands in the state of Texas, Southlake Carroll versus Austin Westlake, the granddaddy of them all, the dodgeball, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be using all those names interchangeably. I am Scotty T, and I'm joined by David Francis and VYPEU Ambassador Will Turboff. Fellas, how pumped are y'all for this game?
I'm excited. I mean, this is going to be the sixth. I'm super excited to say this. The sixth VYPE watch along for state football this year. Super blessed to get to actually watch football. I mean, I don't think I was under the impression that probably wouldn't even get to a state championship this year. Looking for a great game. We haven't had one on a watch along yet. We're really hoping this one pays off. Will, what are you expecting from this game?
Yeah, like you said, some people did not expect for us to get to this point where we would actually have state championship games, but these are two amazing teams. I'm glad to know quite a few players from both the teams, and I think we're finally going to get a close, great state championship game in 6A D1.
I hope so. We think the VYPE watch along is cursed. We think this is our sixth one now.
We think we're jinxed.
We did the 4A, the 5A, and 6A D2, Katy versus Cedar Hill, and all of them have been blowouts. They really have. I think we saw some funny tweets earlier that were like, you're our only hope. Like, save us 6A D1. You're our only hope. Shout out to the Star Wars fans out there. So, but this is what it's all about. The grandest stage, two of the best teams, and these teams have had a tough road to get to this point. And I think they're actually showing the graphic now, the quarterback comparison. That's actually where I wanted to start.
Yep.
This is two of the rising junior quarterbacks. We all know about Quinn Ewers, but Cade Klubik has really put himself on the map. What do y'all think about the quarterback matchup going into this game?
Give me 1 second before y'all answer that.
Oh, okay. Apparently we're having some sort of maybe audio difficulty or something.
Jay, thanks for letting us know.
Big shout outs to producer Jay.
Let's try that.
All right, let's try that.
Check.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're going
We'll go ahead and start. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I don't know a ton about either one of these two quarterbacks, apart from, of course, Quinn Ewers, the number one rated quarterback in the country.
He's the number one rated prospect
player.
Any
Right.
class.
And so going or committed at least at this point to Ohio State. But then when you talk about Klubnik, I mean, his play last week against North Shore was exactly what Westlake needed to have to beat that North Shore team, a team that we all kind of expected to be in the state championships. And same for Ewers on the other side, defeating Duncanville. I mean, those two teams, North Shore and Duncanville, we expected them to be playing for a state championship. But lo and behold, we're here, and it's not them, but it's Southlake Carroll and Austin Westlake. So obviously, both quarterbacks have led their teams to really incredible seasons, and I'm really excited to see what they have on store.
Well, you've seen Southlake play this year, correct? You saw them
play.
play.
I saw them play Trinity a few weeks ago.
Trinity Euless, yeah. So what did you think when you saw Southlake in person? Because I haven't seen him yet. I've seen a couple of game films, but that's about it. What did you think when you saw him in person?
I really thought I saw Cade Klubnik the week before. I saw Westlake beat San Antonio Stevens, and I thought, wow, this guy is so good. I'd heard about him early in the year, and I thought, man, I can't imagine that there's a 2022 quarterback better than him. He's such a great game manager. So when I saw Ewers, I didn't think he would live up to the hype. And it's like every single throw is perfect. He had an interception, but he was like 23 for 24 in the first half. I think he only ended up with 6 or 7 incompletions. This offense is just crazy. But the biggest what they really need to work on is their defense. They just don't have as good of a defense as I think they need to against Westlake. And Westlake's defense only giving up 5.5 points per game. It's going to be really tough for Carroll to match that.
Hold on one second. All right, so we're going to play some music here while we're trying to fix some of our audio difficulties. Thanks, everybody, all 35 of you so far who are tuning in to the VYPE Watch Along. We'll get this worked out as quickly as we can. Stay tuned as both teams are taking the field. All right. We are working on it right now. Let us know in the comment section how it sounds on your end.
The game
is underway.
just kicked off. And we got Southlake Carroll receiving. So Austin Westlake get the ball at half, but the Dragons are opening up the game, looking to get things started.
Yeah, I think they've done this like forward impact players to start off the game for both sides. They had the offensive player for Carroll as Owen Allen, so they really work on the passing attack a lot. Just because you have Quinn Ewers, of course you have to.
Right.
But when Owen Allen rushes it and they catch guys off guard and they get a completion there,
Good pass.
To Brady Boyd, who we talked to earlier this week. But that rushing game is deadly when they get it going.
Right. Well, we've already made our picks. We're two.
I'm on Southlake.
Well, you are.
Yeah. I'm on Southlake. That's my original pick, and I'm going with them. Wait, you didn't know that?
No.
I'm
not going against coaches.
The coaches.
I'm going Westlake. I'm not going against the coaches. I'm going Westlake. Will, who you got?
Yeah, I've got Westlake. I've seen these guys all year. There's no way that they're going to lose. And if they were going to lose to anyone, it would be North Shore. So,
what a game. Just an incredible game. And like we said, for these two teams to have to go through those two really good teams to get to the state championship, I mean, just the perfect way to end the season.
Father versus son. The dodgeball.
I mean, that's such just a great storyline, too.
Here goes.
Oh,
What a
man.
throw.
yeah, Ewers to Boyd is such a great connection. Both those guys were hurt for part of the season. So like they've only played together for I think 4 or 5 games, and
Well, the connection is strong thus far. So you've watched these two teams, Southlake on offense, Westlake on defense. What are we looking at for both? What's kind of the key for both sides here?
yeah, Michael Taff, if he gets an inch on anyone, he's a defensive back. He's going to get a pick.
That's a great blitz
And I'm
pick.
sure he's
Make a
guarding-
play.
He
Oh,
does.
wow.
Great defense. It is 18 for Westlake. That's Ford Dickerson. Great defense there.
Maybe got away with the
A
hold.
little hand fighting. Oh, just can't come in. Right off the face mask.
Got to make that catch, I think.
Yep.
Hey, Josh, does it matter that it's a cereal and Katie on the side?
Oh.
There you go. They've got Taff on Boyd, and two, an elite wide receiver and an elite corner.
Right. You want number one on number one in the
Right.
state championship. That's
What do you
exactly
think
what you're
about
looking for.
Southlake Carroll dyeing hair?
I've heard they've done that for a while
They've done
now.
it for like decades now.
I mean, here's the thing.
I love it.
It is one of those team unity things. It's one of those things that. What's that? Oh,
All
okay.
right, we're going to lose our audio over here for a sec.
Okay.
We're back.
We're back. Hopefully, the audio issues are resolving themselves.
Hey, shout out to Josh W.
Yeah,
producer
our producer
working
here, Josh
hard.
W. I mean, he's just been killing it.
Nope. All right.
Well, we got a flag thrown. Pass is completed. Down. It's going to be a first and goal if it stands. Pass down to the 8-yard line, but maybe coming back. That flag looked like it was in the area for holding, possibly.
Lucas,
Well,
who
no,
won it?
an offside call.
Yeah, free play. Who won at 1 o'clock? Katie. Katie won the game early today, convincingly. to say the least.
Convincingly, yeah.
Is
Katie-
That's a way to
without,
put it. Yeah.
without like getting graphic or anything.
Yeah, Katie
Got convincing.
dominated Cedar Hill. I believe the final score is 51-14. We have a post-game write-up on VYPE.com that you can check out from Stephen Peters. He did a great job covering that game, so go check that out, as well as here on the VYPE YouTube page. Got some highlights live from
They're
that
up
game.
there from Tarmy Yarsh. He's on the ground at AT&T Stadium.
Yeah, so check that out.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. I mean, this opening drive for Southlake, I don't know if you could draw it up better so far. Let's see if they can punch it in.
9 plays, 69 yards thus far. They've done a great job down at the 6-yard line right now. They got a second down and goal.
I could be wrong, but I'm not sure if any team has scored on the first drive against Westlake this year. I know North Shore. I'm pretty sure North Shore didn't.
Defense was offsides. Yep.
Wow.
The cornerback was getting too close.
So very costly mistakes by Westlake here, costing themselves, a chance at a goal line stop, but it's going to reset the downs here, move Southlake Carroll even closer to the goal line. Those are things you can't do in a state championship game. We talked about, how disciplined that Katy was in the early game. I mean, not giving up a ton of penalties, not making a ton of mistakes, and obviously worked for them. That's something in a state championship game. You've got to be disciplined and play sound football. And 2 offside penalties here within a couple of plays of each other for Westlake. I mean, that's really, really costly.
Eddie, I think it'd be a huge statement if Southlake Carroll scores. Especially, I think we talk a lot about the quarterbacks at the beginning. Westlake's defense is the other really big story.
This is, this is power against power. This is the Southlake offense against the Westlake defense. It's power on power for the opening drive, and these are the 2 phases of the game where these teams feel that they can really take a hold and win the game. Right now, Southlake showing that they can get the best of this Westlake defense. I would expect the Westlake defense to settle down and get settled into this game, but thus far, I mean, Southlake's kind of had their way.
Reset, very much, very college looking, wouldn't you say, Turboff?
Yeah, very.
How the colleges look back and
And
forth.
there we go. Owen Allen with the touchdown.
Tutty.
Easy little run to the left
There you
side.
go. Riley Dodge with that fist pump. Let's take that, Dad. Huh?
Scott, why don't you maybe explain the dodgeball here for anybody for the 51 people watching? Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. For those people watching that don't know, why don't you explain the importance of the head coach situation here?
Well, really quick, Owen, I agree that Southlake Carroll offense is scary. They just proved it on that opening drive, though. Really setting the tone, I think.
Yep.
Dodgeball. Todd Dodge was the old Southlake Carroll football coach. Won 5 state championships.
Yeah, I think so.
5 or 6 state. I think it's 5.
A lot.
He's one of the godfathers of Texas high school football. Maybe not godfathers, but he's one of the goats. No doubt for sure. His son, Riley Dodge, was actually the quarterback on the 2006 team that won state against Westlake. Todd Dodge is now the coach at Westlake High School, and his son, Riley, the old quarterback, is the head coach at Southlake Carroll. That's why he showed the mom, Todd Dodge's wife, the mom, repping both Southlake and Westlake. Man, that's confusing. Southlake, Westlake, it's a lot of lakes. But
At least it's not a lot of cedars.
man, yeah, that's a lot of Cedar Parks, hills. Like, what else can we name up? Cedar Mountain is next. Who knows? But yeah, Southlake Carroll's father versus son, old school versus new school. I'm pumped for this. I mean, you can't. This is almost like
Can't
a
script
movie.
it. You can't script it better.
It's a movie.
You can't write the story better than a dad playing against his old school, coached by his son, who's coaching his alma mater. I mean,
Correct.
There's
And-
no
and-
way to write that better.
Riley was the quarterback in the state championship when they played Westlake.
Right.
Like that's,
Exactly. Yeah. That's all.
And-
Everything is connected.
It's a
and
flashback from a movie.
Yes, it
Yes.
really is. And I would say both teams were underdogs to get to this point.
Yes.
They weren't underdogs to get to the state semis, but the fact that Southlake
Yes.
Carroll beat Duncanville, the fact that Westlake beat North Shore to get to this point
Yes.
is remarkable.
And I would say look, I don't want to take anything away from these 2 teams. I would say they were fairly significant underdogs in those games. I mean, I don't think anybody was expecting. I mean, people were expecting them to compete, but I don't know of many people that were expecting either one to win.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially Carroll.
This year, North Shore and Duncanville have run the big boys of 6A in the state of Texas,
They were steamrolling through everybody.
and both of them go down in the state semis, and so very deservingly, Carroll and Westlake get to play for a state title. So
Yep. Now let's see how Westlake responds here. Cade Klubnik, the quarterback at
back with a
Westlake.
run.
Really,
That's a touchdown on the first play.
Are you kidding
Oh
me?
my
That's
goodness!
St. Minors there, and he
touchdown.
Well, there you go. That answers that.
Well, this is a very reassuring start. You know, we talked so much about how the Westlake defense was their strength, and I think it's still their strength probably. But we talked so much how it was going to be Westlake defense against Southlake offense. Those are kind of the number ones in the game. And right out the gate here, Westlake finds the hole on the right side with the run, and he just takes it to the house. And just like that, it's going to be 7-7.
Yeah, like you were saying, we were talking about Westlake defense and Southlake offense. But through the first few rounds, Westlake was scoring like 60 points per game in the playoffs. They cooled down last week when they were playing North Shore.
Well, which you have to understand.
Right.
I mean, that defense is legit. And Westlake was playing a lot of defense. I mean, that game was not high scoring by any means. It was very competitive. So if this is low scoring, if this is high scoring, it clearly looks like these two teams are fairly evenly matched.
We're in for a dogfight.
I certainly hope so.
I don't think we're in for a blowout here.
I hope
I don't want to.
Scott.
I don't want to jinx
I
it.
hope not, Scott.
After seeing that Carroll defense, I'm not so sure.
Maybe Will's the good luck charm.
I think that may be it.
Maybe we needed Will here.
I buy that.
We needed Will here this whole time. That was the key.
Yeah, Nicholas, to your point, we actually had one of our writers text me earlier. He can't watch the game either, Josh. He can't watch the game. Yeah, it is kind of crazy. And, for those who are listening on our radio broadcast or if you're watching on TV and just want to hear our commentary throughout the way, that's why we are doing this.
Absolutely.
So thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
Yeah.
So far.
And if you have any questions, feel free, throw them in the chat. We'd love to interact with you guys and answer any questions that you might have or give any opinions that you might care about. We're still having some trouble with the sound. We're still trying to figure that out, but we apologize for that. We thank you for sticking with us. I promise this is the exception to the rule. Normally our sound is pretty good, I would like to say.
Yeah. Hey, since it's on commercial, we're going to turn our mics down for a sec, and we'll be right back.
All right, we're back.
We're back.
Still trying to figure out that audio issue. Hopefully, we'll get that figured out for you. But in the meantime, just stick with us, and hopefully, we're still at I can't think of the word. Hopefully, you can still hear us.
We are ironing it out. Thank you, sir, Nunez.
Appreciate that.
Nunez, yeah. We're trying to get the audio stuff worked out. Thank you for the commentary, though. We think we're fairly clever and entertaining. Flashback 2006. Look at that. He was like
With
growing up on
blonde
the field,
hair.
too, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh man,
Where was that?
it's probably at the Alamo Dome. That's where I used to host state.
We used to mix it up.
Man,
It's got the UIL
AW.
logo on the end zone.
Oh, you see that? Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
$43-29. Is it going to be higher scoring tonight?
That was his last game at Westlake, too. Did y'all know that?
I did not.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
his last
wow.
game at Westlake.
Or at Carroll.
Ed Carroll
Oh, yeah. What? Ugh.
won.
That is the first of many times
That we will make some sort of mistake.
That was his last game at Southlake Carroll, and then he took the job at UNT,
Well,
which is actually like 10 minutes from
yeah, close.
Southlake Carroll.
And Riley followed him there, right?
Yeah, because he was committed to Texas at that
Yep.
point, and then he went to UNT.
So maybe I'll throw this question here to Will. He's done so much work at looking at this season. Owen Blaine wants to know, what's a big thing that separates Quinn from every other quarterback in the nation? What have you seen that you touched on it a little bit earlier, but from your perspective, what makes him the number one guy?
I mean, I really don't think there's one single thing, and if there is, I can't put it into words. The guy just makes perfect passes, and it's something that you can't really analyze. It's like He has talent that nobody else has, and it's not just like, God-given talent. I think this guy has put in so much work, and I know Riley Dodge was talking about this a few days ago, but he knows how to read defenses so well. It's like any quarterback that I've ever seen.
Well, hopefully that answers your question, Owen. I mean, I think you're seeing it here. He did such a good job, and right there, just finding the open guy. I mean, and some of that
it's
too.
a tight spiral. It's on time.
Yes, he's got a quick arm motion. He gets the ball in and out, and it's one of those things that I think that a lot of times when you hear a guy's number one overall or whatever, you're expecting all of this flash and flare. You're expecting him to run around and juke defenders and make these crazy highlight plays, but most of the time those guys are just finding the open guy. They're staying in the pocket. They're trusting their team. They're finding their open man, and they're getting them the ball. And they're not overthrowing or underthrowing, throwing behind the receivers. So
it's almost like when you see a really good golfer and just makes it look so easy.
Right.
It's just maybe there's not anything that necessarily blows you away.
Right.
But they just do everything really well, and all of a sudden you look up and you're like 5 or 6 under par.
Right. And you don't realize how much work that takes, how much practice, how much preparation. When he throws a tight spiral and he finds the guy that's open, what you don't realize is the things he's having to do in his mind, breaking down the defense and the coverage as soon as he snaps the ball, and watching where the safeties go, watching what happens with the linebackers, and figuring out where his open man is going to be. And as well, I think we saw, in the last game, in games yesterday, the ability to throw a tight spiral directly into your receiver's hands. This is not something you should take for granted.
Absolutely not.
That is an absolute skill that has been practiced. So a lot of times, maybe the number one overall guy is just a guy that gets it done the right way and makes it look easy.
Yeah, he makes it look easy for sure.
I could not throw a football half as far or half as hard as he could.
No, and just put it in the exact space where he wants
where
it.
It needs to be.
That's the crazy part, that he'll just put it wherever he wants it.
Right.
Yeah, Carroll did something interesting. They put Boyd in motion and tossed it to him. Getting him away from Taft is going to be a key here.
Oh, wide open.
Speaking of Boyd.
Oh my goodness.
Hello!
Now, you want to talk about a highlight play. Throws the ball, gets Boyd wide open, and then Boyd just finishes it. Jukes 2 defenders at about the 10-yard line, walks it into the end zone. Probably should have been tackled here at about the 10. I mean, good job just getting himself open. They used that inside receiver to clear out some space for him, and then once he catches it, he just does the rest. Great play there by Carroll.
He is going to Minnesota.
Wow.
Yeah, if you want to hear about his whole recruiting process, we just had him on the VYPE podcast. So
yeah, go check that out.
Make check that out. Go on VYPE.com. You can search for VYPEU. You can also check that out on the VYPE YouTube page.
Yep.
Subscribe to that. We've got the VYPEU podcast coming out weekly. We've got VYPE Locker Talk Live coming weekly. We've got new shows and content coming out almost daily. New stuff rolling out into the future. So subscribe to us here on YouTube. Subscribe to us at VYPE Houston, at VYPE DFW, at VYPE ATX, at VYPE SATX, and at VYPE SETX on Twitter for your local sports coverage. And just like that, it's 14-7. Southlake Carroll.
We'll be right back. Hang tight, everybody. Thank you.
All right, we are back. And Southlake Carroll is leading Westlake 14-7, but Westlake is driving.
Oh, they got to stop. They didn't score on the first play this time.
Oh, man.
That's good.
They ran that same play, too, just the other way.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. So we didn't get a chance really to talk about the Westlake offense. They scored so quickly. We'll go back to you, Will. You've seen these teams in person. Westlake offense, Carroll defense. What are we looking for on both? Westlake a flea flicker.
He's not.
Doesn't have a man downfield.
He's going to take it
He's
himself.
going to just take it himself and gain just a couple of yards. Man, they're just throwing everything at him.
State championship, baby.
Yeah.
Leave it all out on the
If
table.
you have any kind of trick plays, any secrets up your, in your pocket,
Up
man,
sleeves.
you better throw them.
Yeah, this Westlake offense is really crazy. Klubnik can really make anything out of nothing, and we just saw that there. It looked like he was going to get sacked.
Even gaining 2 yards on that play was better than getting sacked for 5. So a big third down here. Westlake needs about 7 yards, 8 yards. Klubnik stepping up in the pocket, firing, got his man over the middle. It's caught. Like you said there, he stays poised in the pocket. He lets the defenders get past him. He steps up, finds his guy, makes the throw.
And he's got so many weapons too. They put Michael Taff. We were talking about him earlier. He's playing. He's a defensive back, but they actually have him in at wide receiver right now.
Yeah.
He's got Kubeka and Nichols, and there's so many guys that he can throw it to, and the rushing game is crazy too.
Well, we know the rushing game can be potent. Scored on 1 play. So obviously looking to recreate some of that magic.
Oh, good blitz. You got to make that play.
Oh, my goodness. You want to talk about a guy that can make something out of nothing. Look at that play right there. They should have had him 3 yards for a sack, and he escapes and gains a first down, a 10-yard run. My goodness.
There are so many people that want this guy. I think he's going to end up playing for Sark. He's going to stay in Austin. But, who you see that play, who would not want this?
Right. And you take it, too. Maybe he's not as polished as you want, but, man, he's got kind of the natural just skill and intuitiveness. You just want him on your team. You want the chance to coach him and see if you can, build him up to be something really great. He certainly looks like he has that potential.
And just imagine what he's going to be like next year after a full offseason of training.
Right, exactly.
And this is his first year starting.
Yeah, very impressive, very impressive. So Westlake with another first down, now into Carroll's side of the field. They're doing a good job at using the ball to confuse the defenders. The defenders seem to have a tough time early here, recognizing, okay, was it handed off? Is it a run? Is it a pass? So far, Westlake's using that to their advantage.
Play action here.
Quick to the outside, and it gains yards.
Tass helmet come off, and then he's going to talk some trash. I think he's going to have to set out a play here. Ooh, it's getting a little dicey out there.
Hey, it's a state championship. You got to expect there to be some chippiness. It's not like this is a huge rivalry. These guys, teams don't play each other all the time. But man, it's for a state championship.
Well, they were supposed
to
be
fired up.
They were supposed to play each other at the beginning of the year.
Right,
The game got canceled.
Really?
Yeah, dodgeball was supposed to happen.
I tell you what,
Got
we're getting it
canceled.
now, and I'm sure that they are.
Let's go.
I'm sure they are happy they're getting it this way. Another
I think
handoff and another
everybody
big
has.
run.
That is a touchdown.
Another touchdown. So these big runs right now.
My
goodness.
Hell.
That is it's the other Westlake running back. That's number 22, Gray
Knackfor. Yeah.
Knackfor.
Yeah,
that's a last name for you. So he just look at the patience and the vision, getting up to the line, waiting for his gap to open, and then as soon as he finds it, explode into the gap.
Yeah, he saw one of the offensive linemen get a fist bump when he was still at the 20.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're an offensive lineman and you spring a guy like that, you just know. As soon as he gets past the line and there's nobody deep in the secondary, you know. So early here, we've got a tight one. It's 14-14. We've got a great game thus far.
Yes.
Great game.
Yes. Usually we would keep doing commentary, but we're going to go down for a sec on the audio so we can keep working on those issues. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks so much. Stay tuned.
We appreciate y'all tuning in. Yeah. We're back.
Still
6A, Division 1. VYPEU Watch Along. I'm Scott Terrell, Scotty T, David Francis, Will Turboff. Scores tied 15.
14.
14-2. 14 as well. Y'all.
It's been a long day,
It's
Scott.
been a long couple days.
We've
but
watched
we
a
are
lot
here.
of football, I'll tell you that much.
Man, and this is probably the best game so
Oh,
far.
it's easily been the best game thus far.
14-14, 6A D1, the highest level.
Yep.
I don't want to say toughest competition because every
Yes, no, I don't.
everyone
Yeah,
has their-
yes,
but
every
theoretically, it is the toughest competition because
Yeah.
these are the biggest schools in the state of Texas.
Yeah, I agree with you. By no means should we take anything away from the other teams that have won state championships. You know, this weekend, whether it be
Yeah, I mean, especially since Denton Bryan won 5A D1 last night.
Right.
They beat Denton Geyer in the season. And Denton
Right.
Geyer made it to the state semis. So, like, Denton Ryan can play with any team in the state probably.
exactly,
But
yeah,
they just happen to be at the 5A level.
exactly.
Yeah, that brings up a good point as to whether Denton Ryan or Alito could hang with either one of these teams because
Man.
Alito, they have looked amazing. There was not one game this year where that game against Lovejoy, it got close, but they just looked
Well, I'll tell
amazing.
you what, Marshall, the coach, Coach Williams, told us that a couple of years ago that Alito team was in his opinion the best high school football team he's ever competed against.
Ever seen. Yeah.
So and he even said too that he thought that team could have competed with anybody at any level in the state. So
And that was the year that North Shore won on the Hail Mary against Duncanville.
right, by no means should we say that these are the best teams. But yes, this is the highest
the
level.
biggest name teams.
This is the biggest name is absolutely correct,
Yeah.
and this is the highest level of football here in the state of Texas. So it's certainly exciting to watch. But Carroll has the ball, second down, little quick pitch, and great tackling there.
They did that earlier with Boyd. It didn't work this time at all.
No, I mean, as the game has gone on, Westlake has really settled in. I mean, they gave up touchdowns on the first two possessions, but already here forcing Carroll into a third and 9 or 8. So we'll see if Westlake can get off the field here. A big, not huge, but a big early third down. I mean, this could be a really, really big stop. Southlake's going to spread it out wide. They've got one running back in the backfield, but oh
and
my goodness!
Wow, how many
You
guys
were
were- 4
sacked.
guys.
Huge sack.
First stop of the game.
An incredible stop. The sack made by Westlake number 92, Nick Hogan. Or no, sorry, that's 95. It's Braden Davis.
That's interesting how the center snaps it. It's like a rotating ball. You think you would just want... You think that'll lead to errors eventually, but we'll see.
Huh, I didn't see it. Are you saying he's spinning it like on the horizontal axis?
That's like a flying duck.
Yeah, that is weird. Oh, the punt. Oh, my
got it
goodness.
off.
The snap of the punt hits the ground before it gets to the punter, but it was gotten off. And
Great field
Oh
position.
my
for
goodness!
Westlake
You
here.
give Westlake 51 yards to a touchdown. This might be a one-play drive again.
it certainly might be. My goodness. That was a big scary moment there for
I didn't know
Southlake
Justin
Carroll.
Tucker went to Westlake.
Yeah, Justin
That's
Tucker.
cool. The Renaissance man. Because he's the fascinating character. Did you see that little special they did on him one time? He like plays the violin.
Oh, really?
And all this. He's like a legit Renaissance man. I think he has a photographic memory, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. What are your thoughts on the Cedar Hill game? Katie. Just one word, Katie.
Yeah,
Katie,
Mark, Katie.
in every form or fashion.
Katie.
I was
that's
at the
pretty
loss.
much it.
I said Cedar Hill would win the game, and
Same. Whoops.
yeah.
That didn't work out.
We went against. Well, that's why I was not going against the coaches in this game. They said Austin Westlake. I said, okay, Coach Austin Westlake, it is. They
sir.
knew something we didn't know, and I tell you what, we talked about this earlier. I think the best way, like we've said, the best way to describe it is Katie. Katie played the quintessential Katie game. They ran the ball. They played great defense, and with an with an offensive style that doesn't typically lend itself to a ton of points, they scored 51 points in the state championship and absolutely blew away Cedar Hill.
Do you guys think that loss to Tompkins helped them?
I think it did, yeah, 100%, because it really motivated them. Because when they lost that game, that wasn't that team losing that game. That was the legacy of Katy High School.
End of an era right there.
That was the legacy of Katy High School losing that game. That was 75 straight district games going back to 2008. Is that what you said?
2008.
An incredible run, and I think that run needs to be talked about. It's absolutely remarkable. But absolutely, losing to Tompkins 100%. It put them, put a chip on their shoulders. A team that doesn't usually have a chip on their shoulders really, really helped them this year.
It's one of those. We actually asked the coaches when they were on the stream earlier today about that. And it's Southlake with I would say big sack.
Yeah,
that's just one of the
huge.
first times
If you can
they've
get to
really-
him, it's a big sack, no matter
well,
how
he
many
was
yards he
stepping up
loses.
into the pocket and looking like he was either about to take off or throw the ball. So a 2-yard loss, a big stop there for Southlake.
Right. And where I was going to, nobody likes losing. Nobody likes it.
Right.
But you learn a lot more from losing and just failures.
Right.
In life in general.
Right.
Because football does mirror the game of life so well. So you learn more when you don't succeed. And for Katie, and even Coach Joseph talked about it on the VYPE Locker Talk this last week, how much that benefited his team. That was like, hey, maybe we know we're good,
Right.
but we got to check. We got to shore some things up in order if we want to make a deep run. And then Coach Joseph talked in the post-game interview today that he said that the team in 2008, when they lost that last district game, won the state championship that year.
Right.
They lost the district game this year, and now they're state champs once again.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. All right, well, that's the end of the first quarter. It's tied 14-all as Austin Westlake is driving here. We're actually going to go ahead and
10 minutes behind, Nick?
Oh, man,
You
that's
think we're 10
unfortunate.
minutes behind? Wait, that gives you time to watch the play and then our reaction.
Absolutely.
There we go.
We're actually going to go ahead and shut down and restart the stream here.
Oh, okay.
Are we good to do that, Josh? I think that's what we're going to do. Hopefully to try and fix the audio issue here. We're going to shut down the stream. We're going to come back up right away. So
Stay on the VYPE YouTube page.
Stay on the VYPE YouTube page. We'll be right back up in 5 seconds or so.
Maybe
1
a minute.
minute. We'll be right back up, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Thanks for joining us. Stick around.